are the Phoenix Suns championship bound. When people talk about scary playoff teams, the Phoenix Suns are never the first team mentioned, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. And yes, I'm a Suns fan, so I will say this carefully. This isn't hype. This is about playoff basketball, matchups, and traits that actually translate into April. Because when you really look at this Suns team, there's a scary truth nobody's noticing. Every single postseason, we relearn the same lesson. Playoff basketball comes down to shot creation. When the pace slows down and defenses are set, you need guys who can score without help. Devin Booker is already proven in playoff environments. He's comfortable living in tough spots, mid-range, late clock situations. Now add Jalen Green onto that, who brings speed, explosiveness, and different type of pressure. He forces defenses to guard Phoenix completely differently. One creates calmly, the other creates chaos, and the combination is brutal in a 7-game series. Now this version of the Suns is completely different than the championship run they had a few years ago, and Dillon Brooks is a huge reason why. Every playoff series needs a villain. Dillon Brooks turns playoff games into street fights, and Phoenix hasn't had that in years. He takes the hardest defense assignment, very physical on the court, an emotional tone setter, and he's willing to be hated, which is exactly what Phoenix hasn't had in recent years. And in my opinion, this is exactly why the Suns are so underrated, because that stuff doesn't show up in box scores, but it wins playoff games. Here's what nobody wants to admit about the Phoenix Suns. Playoff series are decided by role players. This Suns roster is filled with guys who don't need touches to impact the game. Unselfish players. They don't play scared, and that matters when stars get trapped. The Phoenix Suns are a matchup nightmare. Phoenix forces you to pick your poison. Focus on Booker, Green gets downhill. Hide a defender, Brooks hunts him down. Help too much, and the role players are going to burn you. There's no comfortable defensive game plan playing against a Suns team. Now let me calm down a little bit. I'm not saying the Suns are perfect in any means, but no playoff team is. The real question isn't are they favorites, it's do you want to deal with Booker's shot making, Green's explosiveness, and Dillon Brooks for 7 games? That's the scary truth about the Phoenix Suns. While everyone's focused on the obvious contenders, Phoenix is quietly becoming the matchup nobody wants. Tell me in the comments who actually wants to see this team in round 1. And I mean, I'm not even trying to glaze, but this is exactly where the Suns become dangerous. Because I think in a 7-game series, the Suns are one of the hardest teams to beat. Teams start hunting weaknesses, rotations get shorter, and game plans get more specific. Phoenix does not rely on one thing to win. You can't just take away a single option and feel comfortable against the Suns. What works once against the Suns usually will not work 4 times. And as the season keeps developing, I personally think the Suns are getting scarier and scarier every single game. They have no Jalen Green, they have no Devin Booker, and they're still beating the Pistons. Then, night right after, they're beating the Cavs. The Suns have played a combined total of 2 games being fully healthy with their starters. But that leads me also to my next point. When the starters are healthy, Devin Booker isn't the same player people remember him from a few years ago. He's a lot more patient, he reads doubles better, he understands when to attack and when to let his game come to him. He's a way better defensive player than people give him credit for. The kind of growth matters in playoffs, where mistakes get punished instantly. Booker doesn't rush moments anymore, he controls them. Jalen Green, when he's healthy, gives the Suns something they didn't really have before. Peer pressure. Even when he's not scoring, his speed forces defenders to react early. That creates space, that creates breakdowns, and in the playoffs, that's how open shots appear. You don't have to stop Jalen Green, you just have to survive with him. Dillon Brooks also does something that doesn't show up in the analytics. He sets the tone. He makes stars work. He talks. He gets under your skin. And playoff basketball is emotional, whether people admit it or not. Phoenix finally has someone who enjoys making things uncomfortable. We can talk all day about the new Big 3 in Phoenix, but this is exactly where the role players matter the most. This is where the Suns role players come in. These aren't guys trying to prove something. They know exactly what they're there to do: defend, space the floor, make the extra pass. Playoff games swing on confidence, and the Phoenix role players don't hesitate. All of them are very good shot makers too. Playoff games aren't pretty. They're physical, they're slow, they're uncomfortable, but the Suns, in my opinion, are built for that kind of basketball more than people realize. This team doesn't need things to look good. They just need results. So no, the Suns aren't the loudest team in the league. But when the playoffs start, that might be the scariest thing about them, because the team nobody talks about are usually the ones nobody wants to face. Not only are the Phoenix Suns underdogs, their projected win total was 31.5 before the season started. They have already smacked that halfway through the season. Everyone counted the Suns out before the season even started. And that's exactly what makes them even more dangerous than they already are. The Phoenix Suns aren't here just to make a small playoff run. They're here to win a championship. And yes, I do know that they're 7th in the West, but they are 3 games back from being 2nd in the West without Jalen Green, without Devin Booker. Devin Booker could be back by the end of this month. Jalen Green is day to day. When the Suns are fully healthy, come playoff time, they're going to be a team you do not want to play first round, second round, any round in the playoffs. One of the scariest things about the Phoenix Suns this year is the chemistry they have on and off the court. This team doesn't just play for each other. They play for their coach. They actually like each other. This leads me to my last question of the video. Are the Phoenix Suns championship bound?